Taking you in this moment, come get close like you own name. Read your aura, you.
Hello and welcome to my September wrap up. It is a little bit late, but that's just because I have been working, and when I get in from work I am either knackered or have a migraine to the point where I just sleep. So your girl's not been well, but we have finally got time to kind of do this wrap up and also do an October TBR. So exciting times. We're finally, it's like the only day off I've got for like the next 4 days. So anywho, we're gonna get on with it because we've got quite a few books to go through here, and I also have quite a few that I either read on Libby, which is like my library's e-reading service or audiobook service, and I also have some that I read on my Kindle. So we have the phone here with everything on it, because otherwise your girl will forget. If you ever want to know what I've read, if you go onto my Instagram, I have like a monthly wrap up tab and it goes through all of them that I've read. I thought it would be pretty useful to do that for anyone who wants to kind of know what I've been reading the whole entire year. That was a good save by me. Congratulations to myself. In case you want to know what I've been reading this entire year, I've got it all from January to September. Every single book that I've read, whether that is via audiobook, Kindle or physical book. You can also just go back and watch all of them on here, so you know, self-plug there. If you do like my videos or you like my TikToks or anything like that and that's where you found me from, please do subscribe, it'll mean a lot. I've got quite a few videos coming. I've got a reading vlog of Fourth Wing coming, and yeah, we've got quite a few exciting videos coming, so don't forget to subscribe to that. And give this video a thumbs up, because that really does help me out. It just means that more people can find these videos, so don't forget to. And let's get straight into what I've read this month. This is in no particular order at all. This is kind of just a random order, because otherwise I will forget. So I'm going to start with the physical books and then I'll go on to what I've read on my Kindle / Libby. I think there's only one, no, there's two that are on Libby, so let's get started. We'll start off with a 5-star read for me. This is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I actually got this early, like a good couple of weeks early, so of course I did a reading vlog for you guys, which is already up. It was my last video. I will tag it for you guys. But this book is about Russ and Aurora. They're in a summer camp that they go to. Aurora goes to it because that's what she's always done. Every single year her parents have always sent her there, and it's Russ's first time. He just wants to get away. He's got a lot of family issues and he just wants to get away from them. So obviously they both met each other before this at, can we guess, a hockey party, an ice hockey party that the team have done. I'm saying of course let's know, because in the first one, Icebreaker, they also have hockey parties, and it's how that couple met and this couple met this exact same way. I actually tabbed it this time, and the last thing like I actually fully tabbed is like one of my favourite bits. So it goes, I don't want to be sunlight, Russ. If you stand in the sun for too long you get burnt. I don't want to be another person who burns you. Let me be moonlight. What if we get caught in the rain? You don't get rainbows at night. You don't need rainbows when you have the northern lights. And that, I think, just sums up their entire relationship, and it's absolutely brilliant. Russ is like a sweetheart so much. He's like this little cute shy thing, which is actually in the bedroom is like the complete opposite, and I love that. And yeah, you get a bit of Henry involved in it, because we all love Henry. I can't actually wait for his book. His book is like one of the ones I'm most excited for, to be honest. But yeah, Henry's involved, and you see him with a girl and you're like, what's going on here? So if you like Henry, you get a little sneak peek of him in this. But yeah, this is a 5-star read. Love Hannah Grace's writing. Cannot wait for the next one. And I am just so happy that Simon Schuster actually sent me this. I did get it via work. I work in Waterstones. We get to request books, but you never know if you're going to get them or not. And actually that's how I received this, which is kind of still shocking to me that I did in fact receive one. I have a signed one that I'm going to go collect today, I think. So that's exciting. But yeah, I absolutely love this book. I wish though it came out in summer, not in October, just because it is more summer reads. Summer reads, more summer vibes. So yeah, anywho. it's a brilliant book in itself anyway, so you can read it any time of year. I just think summer's kind of the better timing just because of what it's about. It's like a summer camp, so it makes more sense, but you can kind of read them at any point in time. The next book is The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. I love this book. This was a really easy read for me. It was the second one to the X-Hex, and I just love the family in it. So it's the Penhallows family from Wales, and this is based around Llewellyn, or Wells as everyone calls him, but their family is Welsh, so it's kind of why I love it so much, because there's Welsh involved in it. I know a little bit of Welsh, so it's kind of really nice to see it in here, the Welsh being used and the Welsh town. And basically this is about Glendale, which is what the Penhallows used to own years ago, but actually it's the Joneses witches. You have to read the first one for it to kind of make sense, because it follows on, so you need to read the XX verse, then this one, just for the storylines, because you meet everyone kind of at the beginning. And the relationship between the two characters in the XX are in this one, so it kind of makes sense, otherwise it's a massive spoiler. But Gwen, or Guinevere, but everyone calls her Gwen, owns the Something Wicked shop, and Llewellyn comes and he is like, I want to stay here and all of this jazz, and then things happen, and it's called The Kiss Curse for a very good reason, and you find out when you're reading it near the end like what the curse is. This took me like 2 days to read. I devoured it. It's one of them really easy fantasy witchy books that I can just devour in an instant. It's one of those where I'm just like, right, okay, I'm reading it and I'm set. And it's so easy, big writing as well, which makes a whole difference when there's big writing in a book, because it just means like you're like skimming through it and you're easy reading it. And I read this because I was in the mood for fantasy, but I didn't know if I was in what type of fantasy I was in the mood for, and I knew this one was the perfect one to start with to get me into my fantasy mood, and it worked perfectly. You'll find out in my October TBR video how it worked perfectly, but it's absolutely brilliant. Then we're going on to my second most anticipated book for the year, Wildfire, and then Things We Left Behind by Lucy Scott. I cried at the end of this because this is the last book in the series. I full blown cried. This book is the best one in the series. This is a 5-star read. 5 stars. Completely and utterly 5 stars. I did a whole reading vlog on this because I knew I just had to, seeing as I did a reading vlog for the other two. This one is brilliant. Like, it just captures, like, in the first one I was like, I need this book instantly, and then I found out it was gonna be the last one and I was like, oh, okay. But the way they rounded off this series, like the way they rounded it off was so perfect, and like the epilogues were just perfection. Everything was just rounded off so perfectly, and in a way you're just like, yes, it makes sense, and yes, the story's come to an end, but it's like the perfect way it came to an end. So I'm really happy. Also, it flashes backwards and forwards. It only does like 2 or 3 flashbacks to 23 years before, and that's just so you know what happens with Lucian, everyone calls him Lucy though, and Stallone, because something massive happens, which is why in the first 2 books they are the way they are with each other, and there's this tension, and then Lucian is just trying to protect Stallone constantly, and she comes under fire and he comes to the rescue, just like all the other boys do. So he's basically a Morgan brother, but you know, and it deals with some domestic violence and all of that, so do try trigger warnings for these books because there is some, but perfection is this book, and I will be reading that series because it is absolutely fantastic. Then I read at the beginning of the month, I read Play With Me by Becca Mack. I actually read this on my Kindle just because I was away when starting this, but this one is about the hockey captain's sister and his best mate and also player that he plays in his team, that's the goalie. They're moving to the same apartment building because Beckett is like, you need to be safe, so you're going to stay in this apartment building. Turns out Garrett's there. Garrett is like falling in love with her already. Things happen. A box with things, certain things that I can't see on the internet, fly out and him in the face, and he runs screaming, and it makes that scene makes me laugh. But yeah, she kind of is closed off. She's a dancer, something's happened to abandon the past. She's so closed off. She's like, I do not want anyone near me. Like, I don't want a boy, I don't want anything, I'm independent, I'm an independent woman, do not need anyone. And he's like, are you sure about that? Ah, you completely sure about that. This book is mainly character vision, not much plot, but Becca Mack's writing, it's just something different, and I cannot wait for Unravel Me. I am so excited for that. I need to buy it, but then at the same time I'm like, I just might read it on my Kindle and then ask for it for my birthday or Christmas. But I absolutely love this book, and Becca Mack with the titles, like the bits for the chapters, like the Green-Eyed Monster and the F Word are some of the chapter names, and nails it. I absolutely love Becca Mack, love her writing, love everything she stands for. These books are freaking incredible, and the fact that they found families in it is just chef's kiss. I think I gave this like 4.75 stars or 5 stars, I can't fully remember, but I put all the ratings on the screen anyway. And then we have this series, which isn't a book series, no, it's a manga series, and I was told it the wrong way around, sorry about that. So this is Tokyo Revengers. This is volume 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. I read all of these this month. I kind of got into my manga because I went to one of my colleagues. I was like, I want to get into manga, please recommend me one. She recommended me this one, bought it, instantly read it, fell in love, then have bought all of the rest of them that are currently out. So that was an expensive trip. That was like 80 quid's worth of books. Anyway, it's fine. These books are absolutely fantastic. I can get through them pretty damn quick though, so it's like when I'm wanting to watch TV but I don't want to watch TV because, you know, you could be doing something productive like reading. I read these because basically not much writing. I can read one of these in like a couple of hours, 3-4 hours. I can read one of these in, so they're absolutely perfect. And they're about this person who goes back in time 12 years by accident and basically saves this girl, saves the gang that he's part of, but doesn't mean to get part of it, but then becomes part of it and then tries to save it and to save the life of the girl he loves. And yeah, it is an anime on TV, so I kind of want to watch it, but these are extremely good books. They're quite expensive though. They are $18.99 for the small ones and $19.99 for the bigger ones. So they're expensive, but it's because they've been translated from Japanese to English, and then obviously to print mangas they are very expensive to print, which is why they are so expensive. But this one is absolutely stunning. So I'm very happy to have this as part of my collection because they are just beautiful. I absolutely love these so much, and I cannot wait to read them and then watch the manga once I've read them. But yeah, just when I'm in the mood for something a bit lighter, and or if I've got a headache or something. I don't like watching TV when I've got a headache, but I also kind of like, oh, I can't read, can't really listen to it. Like, I can listen to audiobooks, but just reading mangas is just a whole lot easier, so that's what I do. I read a manga. And yeah, love them. I believe they're all 4-star reads, so pretty decent. To say they're my first ever manga, I'm kind of absolutely vibing with them. So yeah, they're all the physical books I've read. I now need to remember what I've read, so I'm just going to go on my phone because I will have forgotten otherwise. So I also read this month, I read The Doctor by Nikki Salone. This was a 3-star read for me. It was decent. I only picked it up 1 because it was free on Kindle, and 2, one of her books in the series is called Good Girl, and I was like, okay. But it wasn't the vibe for me. It was her boyfriend cheated on her. She then instantly got with his dad, who's been eyeing her up for ages, even when she was underage. He's a doctor. I was like, yes to the age gap, yes to the dad, but a bit weird how instant it was. I think it's because it was such a short read. It was like pretty much like boom, 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 which I was like, yeah, okay, good short read, but bit weird how instantly it was literally like the next day you get with him. Because it wasn't like that with Birthday Girls, so I was like, this is a bit weird. Then I read The Pumpkin Spice Latte by Laurie Gilmore. I love this book so much. This was a 3-star read for me. I cannot wait for the next ones, which I believe is the Bluebell Bookshop. I love her writing. It was 99p this month, so obviously I bought it and read it. Just really easy, nice, cozy reading, just kind of what you wanted. I wanted like a pumpkin spice latte when reading it. I was like, I want a pumpkin spice latte and I'm gonna be just curled up reading it with comfiness. And when I was reading it was raining and it was just like the perfect book, just a perfect book. Then I listened to Agatha Christie, The Murder on the Links. It was only an hour. I got it off on Libby, and it's just because I wanted to read something, but I was in the car with my dad travelling home and I wanted to listen to something, but obviously he was in the car, so we both decided on an Agatha Christie, just because obviously her new film's come out. Well, the film based on one of her books has come out, and I know a lot of people who come into my work like gravitate towards Agatha Christie, so I wanted to see what it's about. Personally, not for me. It was a Poirot one, and I love Poirot, but no, just wasn't the vibe for me personally. But it is getting me in the mood for crime books, which is a good thing because I need to read some crime books to kind of know what people like. So one issue with working in a bookstop, you need to basically read so many different things to know what people like. So I'm trying to like widen my horizons, i.e. why I picked up manga, why I'm trying different things, but at the same time I always rotate back to my classic fantasy, well romance really, so you know. Then I read Toyko Ghoul. I got this one on Libby, just wanted something quick, easy to read on one of my days off. Well, it wasn't a day off. I had a migraine, so I slept, and then really late at night I was like, I just want to read something, so I thought a manga was perfect. So I got Toyko Ghoul because it was such a short one. It's literally under 200 pages. It's so short. It was a 3-star read for me. Probably will never carry on the series unless I can get them for free, just because they're not my sort of thing, I don't think. But I enjoyed it as a manga in itself, so it was a decent one. I think it's overhyped. I've tried watching the TV series. That's way too scary for me. I can't remember how far I got into it. But I did enjoy it, so maybe I'll give it a go. I don't know yet. We will see and find out if I ever carry on via these videos, because I don't know. But yeah, that was all the books that I read. I did read quite a lot of books this month. It was due to either, like, certain books have taken me like ages to read, but then I think because I've read manga and I've listened to an audiobook, it's just taken me less time to read them, so it looks as if I've read quite a lot. But I have, so I'm very proud of myself to say I've been working full time basically, because work and everything health-wise has been kicking my butt a little bit, so your girl's been struggling, but it's fine. Yeah, I really did enjoy every book that I read this month. A 3-star for me is like, it's a decent read. I will maybe read the next one, but if I don't want to read the next one, then I won't. It's like one of them. But like a 4-star is like, okay, this is getting good, and a 5-star is like, yes, phenomenal, can't get this out of my head. So you can, that's kind of my rating system. I never really give anything lower than a 3-star unless I'm like physically like struggling to read it, and I never DNF'd it. So that's just some context to my like system of how I do it, because everyone does it different. Like some people's 3-star reads are like, it's actually really good, and I'm like, okay. Anyway, I hope you did like this video. Please do give it a thumbs up. Comment down below which books that you have read this month, whether you've not read any of these books. Do let me know, and I hope to see you next time in my next video, which is going to be an October TBR. So I hope you have a great day.
Taking you in this moment, come get close like you own it. Read your aura.